Hi there, my name is Jonathan Langary, and I'm here to talk about my media ethics project. I am going to be talking about suicide in media. Suicide is where someone takes their own life, and it can be a very just down feeling, downtime, because for the families, there can be sad, and the people in the community are going to be sad as well who knew this person. It is definitely a just terrible time for everyone. And when someone dies, you usually hear it through the media. They will talk about it and talk about how this person died and a little bit who they were. And there's some upsides of doing that, and then there's some downsides as well. And in this project, I will be talking about both sides and giving some of the effects of what it will cause and what it's can not cause if we don't show suicide in the media. Some people who think that reporting on suicide in the media is important have some good points on why they should. Usually, when someone dies, you hear it through the news. That's one of the ways that most people hear if like a friend they knew died or something like that, and it helps have them report on it and not the families give out the bad news because they're grieving of their lost ones. And I feel like that's a very important thing. However, when it comes to celebrities, these people who are on this higher pedestal that everyone knows, when they commit suicide, they have to approach it a lot differently. Because when a celebrity dies, there is a high number of people who commit suicide because that celebrity committed suicide. It's mostly because they're this person that's high up and they live this amazing life that in these other people's eyes, and when they just give up their life, they feel sad in a way that this amazing person gave up their life. And I am less than him. Why should I even be living? And it can be very dangerous feeling. And how they have to approach it is give less details. In any suicide, they have to give not as much details and more focus on who this person, was and the great things he's done, and not focus on the dark times, on what he was going through and why he did this. Because that, in a way, makes suicide contingencies in people, and we do not need that for anyone to feel that way. And then there's the people who don't want suicide in their media at all. And it's very understandable because, suicide, it's a very dark thing to happen. People get upset. It affects not only the people of the loved one, but it affects the community. And for them to talk about their loved one in a way can be very discouraging and just very not good. Especially with, as we know, when a celebrity or someone commits suicide, suicide rate tends to go up. There was a study of about 17,000 stories that had suicide-related articles in them, had about a 10% suicide rate increase throughout the years of 2011 and 2014. And it is talking about suicide can be a very dangerous thing. However, I do feel like the thing that they miss is that, people need to know what happened to this individual. Because if they just say that nothing happened, then they're faulting the facts of, this person that died. Um, yeah. I would think that we could solve this issue between whether we should show suicide in media or not. I feel like it really stems down to what we should or shouldn't show. We can't just not talk about people that died and just cover it up, but we can't just talk about what they did when they committed suicide. I feel like we should talk more about what they represented and have a more brighter thing on who they were and what they represented. There's definitely a lot of down things in media, especially nowadays with Corona, politics, that really get people losing hope. It's very stressful and very dark times, and no one wants to watch a video where they just learn about someone they loved die and feel sad. They need something to more happiness in a way. So instead of talking about how they died and how they did it, they should focus more on not that major details and just focus on who this person was and that he will be missed. And that is my media ethics project.